again. Whoa! Whoa! Say one more goddamn time. Goddamn time.
My nerds, geeks, and non-binary dweebs. Welcome back to NerdSplosion, the weekly podcast where, based on a monthly topic, I nerd out about whatever the hell I want. As always, I'm your host, Cam. How are you guys doing out there? Hope you guys are doing really good. I hope you guys are staying warm, staying hydrated and everything. I'm super tired. I was plowing for my job, and I went out at 11 o'clock on Saturday night, and I didn't get back home until 3:30 in the morning on Sunday. So, and I did get some sleep in between then, so I'm not super tired, but I'm still very tired, so. But I hope you guys are doing really good. For today's episode, since this is going to be the last episode of One Piece month, I figured I'd just end One Piece month by talking about, why I love the anime, why other people love the anime, and why some people may hate One Piece. It might be a shorter episode, and I was going to have some special guests on here, but one person I know isn't that big into One Piece. There's another person who is in a completely different state at the moment. So I just figured I'd tackle this solo. Why not? I could do it. I'm a big boy. I could do this by myself. But anyway, with that out of the way, let's just talk about some One Piece, shall we? Now, with One Piece, the reason, I don't know if I told this story. No, I didn't, because this was actually cut from an earlier episode. But the reason I got into One Piece is actually a friend of mine, Patrick, who is one of the hosts of the Nerd Shit podcast. I will put a link to them in the description of this podcast. But he's actually the one who introduced me to One Piece, because he was a huge anime person. Like, he watched Dragon Ball Z, all that, a lot of the Shonen Jump stuff. And one day he was like, dude, have you ever heard of One Piece? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh, dude, check this out. And I can't remember if he showed me the actual anime or like one of the movies first, but I was like, oh my god, this is really good. I'm really into this now. And I've just been into it ever since. I remember one time I actually went over to his place. He still lived with his parents at the time. I went over to his place and we actually watched, I believe it was One Piece Stampede. I don't remember if that was the one we watched, but one of them, it weirdly had like English songs for the credits. Like, you would think a whole movie that was in Japanese, that was subbed and everything, wouldn't have English songs in the credits. But sure enough, the credits started playing. And I think it was actually Avril Lavigne's cover. No, not Avril. Yeah, Avril Lavigne, I think. Avril Lavigne's cover of How You Remind Me by Nickelback, which was weird because I think she and Chad Kroeger had a thing at the time. So it was just... it was weird. But yeah, that's my first experience with One Piece, and then I've just been super into it ever since. And I found out, like, when I first met my wife, Caitlin, I found out that she was also, her and her brother were super into One Piece too. So I believe it was like our second or third date. I still lived with my parents at that moment when we first started dating. And one of our first or second or third dates, we just sat, oh god, excuse me. We just sat and watched One Piece together, and it was super fun. And we've been watching it ever since, through dating, through marriage. We've been married like 5 years now at this point. We still are watching One Piece. Currently, I'm not all the way caught up, and as far as the manga, I'm not a huge manga reading person, so I don't have that experience with it. I know my friend Patrick is a big manga person, and I actually talked to him recently because he actually got a One Piece tattoo done recently because him and his wife went to California recently, and he got a One Piece tattoo done on his calf, and it's actually pretty dope looking. But I asked him, I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. Also, I'm assuming you're caught up with the anime, and I was like, oh, I'm just, He was like, yeah, I'm super caught up with the anime. And I told him, like, as far as me watching the anime, I am on the Dressrosa arc. I'm, like, on the second half of the Dressrosa arc. So I'm not completely done. I'm like maybe a couple hundred episodes behind being caught up with everything. But that's the weird thing about One Piece. Like, I know of, like, the Wano arc is the current arc. I know of, like, some characters. Like, I know of Kaido and everything. I don't know what happens, though. That's the thing. Like, I know of some characters. I know of some stuff, maybe, but I don't know, like, plot-wise, what happens with that. Uh, but anyway, why I love One Piece. It's really good storytelling. The art style has it's definitely been fun to see the art style and the animation evolve throughout the anime. Because obviously, it's this started. When did One Piece start? It was like the '90s or something. I want to say '99, but I could be very wrong. One Piece, but when did the yeah? I want the anime. When did the anime start? There we go. Japanese animated series. There we go. 1999. So One Piece started in 1999, and now in 2022, it's still going strong. Actually, last year, they finally hit 1,000 episodes, and according to Crunchyroll, last time I looked, they're on 1007, I want to say. 1007. So yeah, it's been going for yeah, actually it says right here on Wikipedia they're currently at 1007 episodes. So One Piece has been going on for a while, and it's grown to be one of the most popular animes out there. I think there's actually something here in the Wikipedia that says how popular it's gotten. Oh, here it is. In Japan, One Piece has consistently been among the top 5 animated shows in television viewer ratings. On international online video platforms, the One Piece anime got 1.9 million demand expressions per month in 2016, making it the year's most popular anime and 14th most popular TV show in the world, according to the Business Insider. Yeah, it's gotten so popular. Like, it's up there with the other recognizable animes like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto. I think My Hero Academia. It's not quite up there with the other popular ones, but it's getting there. I've seen a lot more people talk about My Hero Academia, which I still have to get back into because I've only watched like half of a season at this point. Let's see. Original network. It aired on Fuji TV. Here in North America, there's TV Japan, but it also airs on like Cartoon Network, Toonami, Fox. It aired on Fox for a while because the Fox had the kids thing, and they had the 4Kids version, which was absolutely terrible. I've already ripped them apart in my controversies episode, but it was just absolutely terrible, and I'm glad Funimation actually took over for them. But it also aired on Cartoon Network's Adult Swim, which Cartoon Network turns into Adult Swim. Like, I want to say like 11, like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Yeah, it aired through Toonami because Adult Swim did all its like adult cartoons like Robot Chicken or Boondocks or everything. And then at a certain point, they would just air a bunch of anime, which I remember from my childhood watching like Inuyasha or Bleach or everything, and Cowboy Bebop. I never was a huge fan of Cowboy Bebop, but I distinctly remember the theme song from my childhood. Like, I would be trying to fall asleep at night, with my eyes closed and everything, and just behind me from the TV, all I hear is, "Get ready to blow this thing. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go." That's some good memories there. Yeah, premiered October, or One Piece. Getting back to One Piece. Yeah, premiered in Japan on October of 1999. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 arcs. There's 20 arcs so far, with the first episode of the Wano arc releasing on July 7th, 2019. And the first episode of the East Blue arc, which is the first arc, came out October 20th, 1999, and that ran to March 14th, 2001. But kind of getting back to why I love One Piece, like I said, it's been fun to see the artwork evolve, just the storytelling is really great, and yeah, actually, like, it got me hooked real quick because a lot of the characters are interesting. Like, they're not just anime characters. there, with a generic purpose. Like they all have their own tragic backstories. They actually make you care for everybody. Like with Nami and Bellamere, like I actually felt for Nami in that moment because Arlon executed Bellamere right in front of Nami as a child, and then Nami was forced to be Arlon's cartographer for years until Arlon finally screwed her when Luffy was around, and Nami was sitting there crying and ready to give up, and Luffy was just like, "All right, well she's crying. Now I have to go kill Arlon." Well, he doesn't kill him, but he messes him up, and that's why I feel like Luffy is the ultimate big brother in One Piece. Just for making his friends cry, he will beat the shit out of somebody. It's amazing. But just overall, and the music, a lot of the openings. I already did a whole episode on the anime openings, which ones were my favorite. But the openings, I'm a big sucker for really good music. So anime openings that get you hooked are a plus in my book. But yeah, I've just loved it from the start, and I definitely will follow it until the end. With the end of this anime, who knows when that's gonna happen? Ichiro Oda knows when that's gonna happen, but the rest of us are left in the dark. He's just sitting there like, the secret dies with me. But that's why I love One Piece. I found this thing on Quora, because I googled like, why do people love One Piece, and I found this thing from Quora is from a Arthur answering the question, why is One Piece so popular? And this is what Arthur had to say. All I can provide is my personal take on it. One Piece wasn't super popular in the West until recently. The reason for this was probably because of 4Kids and the art style. Now, I definitely see where you're coming from, Arthur, because the 4Kids redo of it to make it kid friendly really hurt it in the West. Like people definitely saw the 4Kids version and was like, "Oh, this is total shit. I'm not gonna watch it." And initially, the art style didn't really grab people that well. But if you could get past the art style, honestly, in the beginning, if you could get past the art style, it picks up from there. But yeah, 4Kids definitely ruined it. Arthur continues to say, however, after 4Kids stopped running One Piece and the rights were handed over to another animation studio, the popularity grew. One Piece was always successful in Japan. The reason I enjoy One Piece is due to the originality, world building, and mystery. Pirates are a new concept that's not as explored in the realm of anime. Knights, mercenaries, wizards, etc. have been done over and over again, so it's a breath of fresh air to see something new on the table. On top of this, the art style is also unique to Ichiro Oda. At first, I didn't like the art style as it looked goofy. Over time, I came to hate it less. I still don't like it, but it is what it is now. The world of One Piece is vast. Each island is unique and has its own special twist. Alabasta, Fishman Island, Dressrosa, Whole Cake Island, Wano, etc. I mean, just look at it. And he posts a couple pictures of different islands, like the Alabasta with the desert, and then Wano that has like all the classic Japanese buildings and the clouds and cherry blossoms everywhere. It's really pretty. Politics also play a big role in the story. The structure the world is in right now, Yonko, warlords, marines, and the Revolutionary Army, on top of the corruption, slavery, and mistreatment, adds a level of taste that not many anime delve into. Oda doesn't spoon feed us everything. He puts hints and clues throughout the story that foreshadow what may come, so we, as the audience, are free to theorize and discuss amongst ourselves. Stuff like the Will of D, Devil Fruits, and the history of the world have yet to be revealed. The greatest mystery of all, the One Piece, is something I'm sure all One Piece fans can't wait to be revealed. These things add spice and anticipation. You can't reveal your hand from the very beginning. It's a gradual process. In conclusion, I believe those are what made One Piece very popular. Other than that, I'm out. See ya. Yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention too. Like the actual treasure of the One Piece, it's talked about constantly throughout the series, but you don't know what the treasure is. It literally could be anything. And as far as like how everything's gonna end, there's so many theories about it. Like one of my theories is that one or more of the Straw Hat Pirates are gonna die before they reach the One Piece, and it's gonna be somebody very important to the team. Like a lot of people say that Usopp's gonna be the one to die. My theory is that Zoro or Sanji are gonna sacrifice themselves before the end of the series, and it's just gonna like they're gonna finally get along, and one of them is gonna die. Either that or Luffy is gonna die once he gets the One Piece. I don't know. There's so many different ways that could go, and there's so many different theories that it's hard to kind of pin down anything. But yeah, that's why. At least that's why this guy thinks he loves One Piece, and I totally agree with him. Now, on the flip side of that, real quick, let's see why some people hate it. And there's this whole thing on the One Piece wiki why people hate it, because the question was asked by a Ethan Ribber Havili. He said, "Why do people hate it? Why is it on almost every anime forum is constantly trashing One Piece? They can never give me a real reason to hate it. There is a lot to love about it. One thing I feel is often overlooked is how vast and huge the world is in One Piece. Not to mention the massive amounts of unique characters, and we keep getting new ones that aren't repetitive bad guys. I just don't get the hate, lol. Sorry, had to vent that." And I totally agree with him. Like, there's going to be a lot of people that hate it just because it's popular, and I despise those type of people. Like, you can't let other people enjoy things. There's a lot of different answers here, but I found a pretty good size one from somebody who answered a Lori SGS. They say, most people who don't like One Piece sit middle ground of people who don't like things. It's not their thing, but like most reasonable people, they're not bothered by the fact that other people do like it. Everyone has different tastes. There's nothing wrong with that. There are, however, some people who, if they don't like something, feel that they must therefore hate it. There is no middle ground for them, and the more popular it is, the more they must hate it and express that hatred. And One Piece is a prime target for that due to its status as one of the most popular manga in the world. Many of the long-running shonen series receive a disproportionate amount of hate due to no other reason than their popularity. At the height of its popularity, Naruto received an immense amount of hatred from the anime community. I saw people at cons carrying around signs saying how much they hated it, but if you ever asked them why they didn't like it, they'd struggle to come up with a reason. They give some generic criticism for someone who's only seen a trailer, but the common reason they'll give is it's too, quote, mainstream, which is hipster for, I'm angry that it's popular. These people exist in many things, not just anime or manga and anime. Plenty of people hate football, and I struggle to understand why. I don't like football, I don't watch or follow it, but I don't hate it. It has no impact on my life. I'm thoroughly neutral about it. Some people just don't like One Piece. People just do or don't like things. Everyone has their own opinions. It's just some people not only don't like something, they are angry that other people do like it, and the more popular it is, the more angry they are. It's a mindset that honestly baffles me, but it's unfortunately very common, especially in nerd and geek culture, which seems to attract this type of person. I definitely agree with that. You know, there's so many people that, like, just because it's really popular, like, and just because they don't like something, they, get mad at other people for liking it because they hate how popular it is just because they themselves don't like it. And that's a little thing we like to call gatekeeping. And that gatekeeping is a big thing. I could go on about that. Gatekeeping is a thing that's honestly ruining all kinds of different communities and fandoms and everything. There's the people that either like, that don't like it and get mad at other people for liking it, or the people that like it to the extreme, to the fact where anybody else just getting into it, they like grill them constantly and be like, oh, well, you have to know this and you have to know this and you have to like this. No, just let people like what they like. It's not up to you what someone else's interests are. Like, somebody else should have a completely different interest than you. That is okay. You don't have to berate other people because what they like or don't like. Let's see. This person, there's another person, they didn't get any likes on their comment, but a Monkey D's Nuts commented, "It's got terrible animation for a hugely popular manga and anime. I don't know what their budget is or what Toei is up to, but other studios can crank out crazy fight scenes every week. The movies are lit though." See, the flaw in that is that obviously the animation has changed throughout the years, so you just kind of gotta grow with it. And that's another thing. That kind of thing, like with if anime changes like animation styles, like not necessarily the art, but how things are animated. It will change throughout the year, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, I miss when it was this. I miss when it was this. Why can't they have it like this anymore?" Because it's growing up, and you need to grow up with it, and that's true for any fandom or like anything, like music or whatever. Like a prime example outside of anime is one of my favorite bands, A Day to Remember, and when their recent album came out, a lot of people were hating on it because, oh, it doesn't sound like this album you did 10 years ago. It's like, they're not the same people they were 10 years ago. Most of them are fathers or married. But either way, they're not the same angry young men that you used to listen to back in the day. They've gotten older. Their music has grown up, and you need to grow up with it. And that's exactly the thing with One Piece. Like, a lot of people say they miss when it was this or they miss this. I'm like, yeah, but it's grown since then. And you either have to grow with it, or if you don't like it anymore, don't engage with it. You don't have to berate other people. And this goes back to my point about the gatekeeping thing. You don't have to berate other people just because you don't like it anymore. That's just... I could go on a huge rant, but I really don't want to. But it seems like the consensus for why a lot of people hate One Piece, and a lot of it can be blamed on 4Kids too, because when 4Kids did the English dub for it, they kind of just ruined everything about it, and that put a bad taste in everyone's mouth. So a lot of people who aren't willing to watch the subbed anime are just gonna hate it because of like, oh, I've already seen it once and when it was this, and that just left a bad taste, so I'm not really interested in it anymore. So,
Fuck you, 4Kids.
but thank you for giving us Pokemon, but leave One Piece alone. Let's see. Oh, this other person kind of brings up a good point too. This Burn the World. They bring up a good point saying, the anime community is very toxic. They constantly argue, trash, and quarrel amongst themselves. In contrast, the One Piece community is much more civilized, open to ideas, theories, and the people are just more fun and not so serious. Like this person, they didn't say why they hated One Piece, but they list off some of the main reasons that people do. Let's see. A lot of people hate it because it's lengthy. A lot of people hate the art style. A lot of people say, hate that it's long-winded. Quoting that, Oda likes to work over and go deep in his arts, so the viewer or reader has time to marinate and stew over the plot. The arts are quite lengthy, and most people lose interest. So yeah, that's the thing. A lot of the arts, Oda really loves to get into the story, like get into the meat of it, and he doesn't like to, pussyfoot around with it. He wants you to be invested in it, and a lot of people just don't have that much of an attention span to pay attention. Let's see. Amongst the Shonen 3, Naruto is the most, quote, popular amongst normies, so to most people, it's the gateway anime and put it on a higher pedestal. And then, yeah, he said the 4Kids dub sort of put a stain on the whole series in the West. So yeah, over here in the Americas, 4Kids kind of put a stain on the whole series, but luckily Funimation came along and fixed that. Let's see. For the last part, we should thank Oda for creating a fun and exciting story. And that's the thing. I've seen a bunch of stuff with Ichiro Oda actually coming out, and he's actually really proud of what he's created. He's really proud, and he's thrilled that there's so many people that love it. I mean, there's so much stuff from it. Like, besides the anime and manga, there's video games, there's all kinds of merchandise. I think there's a whole museum in Japan dedicated to it. Just so many people love One Piece, and Ichiro Oda is just so excited that so many people are into it. So, if you're just going to rag on it just because other people like it, then just don't watch it. Stay off the forums, because you don't need to bother people with
your shitty opinions.
But, with that being said, that is why I love One Piece. So, and also with that being said, I am going to bring this episode to a close. So, in conclusion, I highly recommend One Piece. I definitely recommend you watch it. You can start from the beginning. Start wherever, honestly. It's up to you. But if you watch it and it's not your thing, then that's fine. That's not your thing. But I definitely recommend at least giving it a chance. Yeah, if you end up not liking it, then yeah, that's not your thing. But I definitely love One Piece. And with that, I'm going to bring this episode to its final conclusion. Thank you for joining me on this final episode of One Piece Month. Next month is going to be love themed. Now, when I say love theme, I mean, obviously because February 14th is Valentine's Day, but love themed, I'm going to be talking about, like, couples in, I'm going to talk about love in, like, video games and movies. There's even going to be an episode where I might share some of my personal stories with love. Talk about exes and whatnot. So that's gonna be a spicy month for episodes. But let me know what you guys think of this podcast. Just let me know what you think in general. If you have a favorite anime, let me know on social medias. Links will be in the description, in the link tree. Also in the description, there's a link to send me a voice message directly through Anchor. There's also a link to help support this podcast. Consider supporting this podcast today. I can do this better for you, and my cast can get their wings. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Stay hydrated, get vaccinated. I love each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a lovely day, night, whenever the hell you listen to this. And, as always, I will see you guys in the next episode. Nerd out.